Good afternoon. How was your Sunday? Did you go out with your children? Did you have a walk? Did you enjoy the fresh air? I hope so. Well, today we're going to start with the drama bank you had for homework. We're going to start the correction and explanation. Are you ready? Yeah, of course. Let's do it. Here it is. And here you have the drama bank you had to do this weekend. It was a matching. Then I'm going to go reading and you tell me which is the correct option. Then I know you are tired. You try. Try is a verb that is followed by infinitive. Then very good. To stay awake for the party. Then is to D. Oh no, sorry. To F. Yes, sorry, F. I know you are tired, but try to stay awake for the party. Number 2, in my job, it's important. Important is number 2. It's rule 2. After adjective, important, 2 plus infinitive. Then, in my job, it's important. D, to dress smartly. En mi trabajo es importante ir vestido o vestida de manera elegante. Number 3, I don't know where it's a question word, then it must be followed by infinitive. Then I don't know where. E, to park. I don't know where to park. Number 4, we were late, so Simon offered, after the verb offered, 2 plus infinitive. What did he offer for? Offer to give us a lift to the station. To give us a lift to the station. To give a person a lift no es que le das un ascensor, es que la llevas en coche. Es como pick me up or give me a lift. Llévame en coche. And the last one, number 5, when you give a presentation, it's normal. Normal, it's an adjective. Then after adjective, 2 plus infinitive. To feel nervous. No sentirte nervioso. Then these were the results and the exercise answers. Let's move on. Exercise B. Then fill in the gaps. Complete the questions, the statements, with an infinitive, 2 plus infinitive or not 2, and one of these verbs. Let's see. Number 1. Hi, I'm Donna. I'm Renee. Nice to meet you, of course. Encantada de conocerte. What's the rule? ¿Cuál es la norma? Número 2. After an adjective, nice to meet you. Then, number 2. What do you want tonight? Stay in or go out? What do you want to do tonight? After the verb want, 2 plus infinitive. Rule 1. After certain verbs, 2 plus infinitive. What do you want to do tonight? Number 3. Suggestion. Let's meet outside the cinema. I promise. It's rule number 1. After promise, 2 plus infinitive. I promise not to be late. Prometo no llegar tarde. We made the negative with not. I promise not to be late. Number 4. Try. It's also rule 1. También seguimos la norma 1. Después del verbo try, 2 plus infinitive. Try annoys your father's leg. Very good. Try not to make a noise. Hacer ruido es make a noise. Then try not to make a noise. Intenta no hacer ruido. Your father's leg. Number 5. I really like Realmente me gustaría. Rule number 1, very good. After certain verbs, would like to plus infinitive a new language. Then I really like to learn a new language. Me encantaría, me gustaría aprender un nuevo idioma. Rule number 1. Number 6, be careful to pass. The roads are icy. Las carreteras tienen hielo en las carreteras. Hay hielo en las carreteras. Están congeladas. Ten cuidado. Careful. Rule number 2. La segunda norma. Después de un adjetivo. Muy bien. Be careful. Not to drive too fast. No conduzcas muy rápido. Number 7. My brother has decided. Decide. After the verb decide. Rule number 1. To plus infinitive. A job. My brother has decided to look for a new job. Ha decidido buscar un trabajo nuevo. And number 8. The museum is free. You don't need. Rule number 1. After the verb need, you don't need to pay to go in. Then this was the correction. These were the answers for your grammar bank. How was it? Can you recognize the different rules? Yeah? Well, here we have after adjective, after certain verbs. Yeah? After adjective, certain verbs. Very good. Then, at the end of the class, today is Monday, I'll send you another grammar exercises. And remember, if you have any doubt, you have Oxford Online and you have your workbook. You have many loads of worksheets for you to do and to review. And we don't need to do this, but I think it was interesting. In your book, says that you could read different articles. You must be divided into student A, student B. We are not a class, then we cannot divide, but maybe this activity would be the same. Then students A go on page 190 and student B goes on page 196. Then you read each article and you have to retell your partner about tips. You can do this activity, but for me, these articles were interesting because it reveals when do we use infinitives. Then, would you mind reading with me these articles and focus when do we use infinitive? So, take your books and go on page 190. You have to see this image. 7a, how to survive, survival, yeah, how to survive student A. Read the article, how to survive meeting your partner's parents for the first time. Hoy vamos a leer cómo sobrevivir a tu familia política, la primera vez que los conocemos. Your partner's parents, tus suegros. Well, let's see. And what kind of tips? ¿Qué tipo de consejos? How, it's a question word, infinitive. How to survive meeting your partner's parents for the first time. Tip 1. Do some homework before you go. Ask your partner about his or her parents. Where do they work? Do you have any common interests? If you do this, it will be easy, adjetivo, to have a conversation with them. Then focus on the examples we use choose plus infinitive. Tip 2. Be ready, adjective, to answer questions about yourself. Most parents want to know about their son or daughter's future partner. For example, about their ambitions. Try to make a good impression. Then in tip 2 we have want plus infinitive, adjective ready plus infinitive, and verb try plus infinitive. Tip 3. If you are invited for a meal, eat everything. It's also a good idea to say something positive about the meal, like, this is absolutely delicious. Offer to help with the washing up after the meal. Then good idea. What is good idea? To say something positive. And offer, after offer, to plus infinitive. Yeah, now do you realize when do we use infinitive? Very good. Number 4, be yourself and don't just agree with everything they say. If they ask you for your opinion, be honest. However, try not to talk about controversial subjects. This isn't the moment to give your views on religion and politics. Then here we can find out that after try, it's used infinitive. And the last one, number 5, avoid, evita, embarrassing silences. Silencios embarazosos. There is a gap there, there is no conversation. If the conversation is dying and you can't think what to say, ask them what your planner was like as a child. All parents love talking about their children. Then here you have what and infinitive to say. Then you have 5 tips about how to survive when meeting your parents in law. And we have another similar one. It was for student B, page 196, very interesting, but now it's how to survive a first date, la primera cita, and make a success of it, y tener éxito. And then you have 5 tips, and it's how to survive a first date and make a success of it. Number 1, think carefully about what to wear for the date. If you are a man, try to dress smartly but casually, no suit. If you are a woman, it's important not to dress too sexily. Don't wear too much perfume or aftershave. Then here we have what, question words, and infinitive. Try, the verb try plus infinitive. And adjective important plus infinitive. Tip number 2. Choose a place that isn't too expensive. You don't know who's going to pay. Try to go somewhere that isn't very noisy. And here, try, after the verb try, infinitive to. Number 3, don't be too romantic on first day. For example, arriving with a red rose on a first date isn't a good idea. Too romantic, yeah. Number 4, remember, after the verb remember, yeah, infinitive. To listen more than you talk, but don't let the conversation die. Silence is a killer on a first date. Be natural. Don't pretend to be somebody you aren't. Pretend and infinitive. And the last tip, if you are a man, be a gentleman and pay the bill at the end of the evening. If you are a woman, offer to pay your half of the bill, but don't insist. Well, here we have offer and infinitive. I wanted to show you this reading because they are interesting, and moreover because you see in context when to use infinitive. And now we're going to focusing on pronunciation and speaking. We are in your box, page number 99. It's number 4, page 99, everybody. I'm going to write it down. Yes, you need. Page 99, yeah. Listening 7.5. But before listening to it, I would like to focus on this. Pronunciation. What happens when there are certain ending consonants that are the same as the following starting consonant of the following word, word. I mean, for example, want, it ends with a T, and the next word, it starts with the same consonant. What do we do? What should we do? Well, what we should do is not to repeat the same consonant. We have only to pronounce it once. Solo pronunciamos una vez. And remember to make linkings. For example, want, T, and start with another T. Difficult, it ends with a T, and the next word starts with a T. And chew. Then what do you have to do? Often link the words together and make the consonant sound once. Solo pronunciamos una vez. Por ejemplo, I want to come. It's difficult to say. Try not to be late. Then you only have to pronounce one T. And remember that this preposition to introduce the infinitive is weak. What does it mean? Never pronounce the ch. Never. Contiene una schwa, ¿se la schwa? Y siempre es débil. Shakespeare decía to be or not to be. Acentuamos el verbo, no la preposición. To be, be, to be. Then, I want to come. It's difficult to say. Try not to be late. ¿Qué escuchamos? Want y come. Esto no lo acentuamos. I want to come. It's difficult to say. Try not to be late. Try not to be late. Then very important not to pronounce this preposition. It's weak pronunciation. And to finish today's class, today is going to be very short. We are going to finish the class with a listening. Here you have 10 interesting questions. But there are missing words. Not only one word. 3 or 4 words are missing. They are in the listening. So you have to listen and take notes and complete. For example, number 1. Have you ever something new and failed? Of course, these sentences will contain infinitive, adjective and infinitive, or a verb and infinitive, or a question word and infinitive, because we are reviewing the same topic. Number 2, how important is it to know? Number 3, how long do you usually spend deciding in the morning? Number 4, have you ever your phone during a class or concert? Number 5, where are you for the next holiday? Number 6, are you next weekend? Number 7, would you like another country? Number 8, have you ever when you weren't? Number 9, do you think it's important at school? And number 10, do you think it's possible with an ex-boyfriend or girlfriend? Are you ready? Yeah? Listen and complete the 10 questions.
(7.5) 1.
Have you ever tried to learn something new and failed?
2.
How important is it to know how to drive?
3.
How long do you usually spend deciding what to wear in the morning?
4.
Have you ever forgotten to turn off your phone during a class or concert?
5.
Where are you hoping to go for your next holiday?
6.
Are you planning to go anywhere next weekend?
7.
Would you like to work or study in another country?
8.
Have you ever pretended to be ill when you weren't?
9.
Do you think it's important to learn to cook at school?
10.
Do you think it's possible to stay friends with an ex-boyfriend or girlfriend?
Would you like to listen to it again? Yes? Well, let's do it again.
7.5. 1.
Have you ever tried to learn something new and failed?
2.
How important is it to know how to drive?
3.
How long do you usually spend deciding what to wear in the morning?
I'm pausing, then you have time to write it down.
4.
Have you ever forgotten to turn off your phone during a class or concert?
I'm letting time for you to write it down.
5. Where are you hoping to go for your next holiday? 6.
Are you planning to go anywhere next weekend?
7.
Would you like to work or study in another country?
8.
Have you ever pretended to be ill when you weren't?
9.
Do you think it's important to learn to cook at school?
10.
Do you think it's possible to stay friends with an ex-boyfriend or girlfriend?
Well, finish. And let's correct. And we're going to correct, see the answers, and I'm going to explain an activity I was thinking about for next Monday. Here you have the correction of this listening. And I was thinking, you can tell me by WhatsApp if you agree or not, how about using these 10 questions for next Monday speaking class? Hacer un speaking por Hangouts, todos puntuales, por favor, porque si no estamos 2 horas. By using these 10 questions, ¿vale? A lo mejor podemos hacer un speaking de 5:30 a 6:30 o de 5:30 a 6:15. Ya veremos cómo organizamos por WhatsApp. By using these questions, we have to speak about these 10 questions. And we are going to correct the listening. Then, number 1, it was, have you ever tried to learn something new and failed? Here you have in blue, rule number 1. After certain verbs, to plus infinitive. Then, have you ever tried to learn something new and failed? I tried to go swimming, for example, and I didn't like it and I failed. I wasn't good at that. And you can talk about this. Think about what to say in this question. Number 2, how important is it to know how to drive? The theory is number 3. After question words in green color, infinitive. How important is it to know how to drive? Very important. You never know. You have to go to hospital, or maybe you have to work in a very far city, then you need how to drive, to know how to drive. Number 3, how long do you usually spend deciding what to wear in the morning? It's in green color. Rule number 3, after question words. How long do you usually spend deciding what to wear? Well, I don't spend a second. I open my wardrobe and the first listen. Number 4, have you ever forgotten to turn off your phone during a class? Yes, I think that you have forgotten. I'm at class sometimes explaining and I can listen to some WhatsApps or messages or calls. But maybe you say that not. Have you ever forgotten to turn off your phone? I think so. Then forget, it's in blue after the verb forget, infinitive. Number 5. Where are you hoping to go for your next holiday? Well, I don't know. Because of coronavirus, I don't know in summer what's going to happen. But the verb hope, 2 plus infinitive. Number 6. Are you planning to go anywhere this weekend? Plan, it's in blue because number 1 after certain verbs, 2 plus infinitive. Well, this weekend I will go again to go for a walk with my children for an hour and only 1 kilometer away. Number 7. Would you like to work or study in another country? Would you like to, infinitive. I would like to work in the United Kingdom because then my English would improve, for example, or we have a lot of job offers there, and you can say whatever you want to. Think about what would you say. Number 8, have you ever pretended to be ill when you weren't? Pretend es fingir, fingir algo. ¿Alguna vez te has hecho pasar como estabas enfermo y no lo estabas? I did it once. I pretended to be ill when I had a very difficult exam. I didn't want to do the exam, I was terrified, and I pretended to be ill. It's a lie. Acabo de mentir, ¿eh? But it's what you have to do in your speaking. Number 9, do you think it is important? Important is in pink color because it's an adjective. Do you remember? Rule number 2, after adjectives, 2 plus infinitive. Then, do you think it's important to learn to cook at school? Oh my God, I don't know what to say. I don't think so, or I don't know. Then think about what would you say. And number 10, do you think it's possible? Possible is another adjective. It's in pink color to make you realize that after adjective, 2 plus infinitive. Then do you think it's possible to stay friends with an ex-boyfriend or ex-girlfriend? I think it's possible, depending on the way you split up, depending on the way you break up the relationship. You understand what to say? You know what to do? Then this is going to be what you will need if you want to join the next speaking class. Is it clear? Yeah? This is for next Monday. This is for next Monday. We'll have a speaking class. You understand? Yeah? Then, after this, we finish here. And I will send you by mail another worksheet, a file grammar to review adjectives. And please learn the verbs you have to use after to use adjectives. To use infinitive with to, because the roles on the verbs. Because on Friday we'll deal with when do we use gerund. Then you have to learn when do we use infinitive, and on Friday when do we use gerunds. Is it clear? Yeah? Then see you next Friday. Bye bye.